What's good? What's good? What's good? NBA YouTube. It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with the Rock Never Stops, coming to you with another episode of NBA content. Today is the day Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner officially hit the NBA market. These two are about to change the fortunes of a couple of teams from a playoff fringe team to a contender potentially. From a team with some hopes and dreams to a team that's really about that life and really can say they believe in their ability to win. This is a moment where I think the Toronto Raptors need to pounce. I think Domantas Sabonis, more so than Miles Turner, is the answer and the key for the Toronto Raptors to get back into not just the playoffs, but contention. I'm going to talk about that and more on this video. If you like, smash the like button for me. Subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified for more videos coming out. But right now, I want to break down for you why Sabonis is the perfect pickup for this Raptors team. One, if you've watched Sabonis throughout his evolution, from playing in Oklahoma City to landing in Indiana, getting into the playoffs, being the main scorer, being that dominant force, becoming an all-star, Sabonis holds all the attributes that the Toronto Raptors has needed this entire season, not just this season, but the last couple of seasons. One, he's physical. He's a physical big. Doesn't matter if it's Andre Drummond, Joel Embiid, Dwight Howard. It didn't matter who he was going at. He was bringing the physicality every single time. Every single time. He met physical strength with physical strength. If you know anything about the Sabonis family, his father was like the Shaq of Europe, right? Somewhere between Shaq and Hakeem Olajuwon. Like literally, this dude was 7'3" with a 30-some inch vertical, 7'5", 7'6" wingspan, could jump out. Like he was like literally, I would say he was like Joel Embiid, probably the best representation of who he was. Joel Embiid for Europe, and was killing him for years. So the physicalness, the dominant physicalness of what it takes to be an elite NBA big man is in his genes. He doesn't know how else to be. He doesn't know how else to play. He's going to put his shoulder into your chest and give you a jump hook every single time. But now what we're seeing from his game is also another level. His ability to facilitate, to be able to play make from that high post position is a perfect match for this Raptors team as well. Not just that physicalness, but when he steps out, he's able to hit cutters. And when you look at this Toronto team, one of their primary strengths within this Nick Nurse system is moving without the ball. From Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, all have a strong background and almost second instinct to just cut hard off the ball immediately. No second guessing, no doubts about it. They cut hard to the basket. They got sure hands. They catch the ball, great finishers. And they would be perfect pieces around Domantas Sabonis. And this isn't even to say he would be the focal point of the offense. Another aspect of Domantas Sabonis' game is his ability to now stretch the floor. He's shooting threes with regularity from the top of the key still. But if you know anything about his father, Arvydas Sabonis, the Sabonis, he was able to shoot the ball more and more throughout his career as well. And what he showed that when he can shoot that ball, at the time, he was drawing out Shaq, which was a huge advantage. It was the reason why it was between Portland Trailblazers and the Los Angeles Lakers throughout that three-peat period. Because they had the ability to do what no other team could. Defend Shaq on one side with size, straight up, and bring him out the paint on the other end. If Domantas Sabonis can consistently hit that three, and pull Joel Embiid out the paint. Do you know what that's going to do to teams? Having to deal with 6'9" Scotty Barnes and 6'9" Pascal Siakam backdooring off the wings. That's going to open up that entire offense. That entire offense. But something else that Domantas Sabonis also has is he's got the basketball IQ. When you look at Nick Nurse's system in Toronto, it is highly predicated on understanding how to play the game of basketball. Not just that you can dribble and shoot. No. Understanding spacing, positioning, cutting, finishing, the ability to be able to move without the ball, set screens at certain angles, come off those screens hard, make sure you have pinpoint passes, understanding who's got the hot hand, taking quality shots, team first mentality. These attributes are foundational to play in this system. You don't see anybody on this team who is a one-trick pony, who only shoots or only does this or only does that, who doesn't know how to play as a part of a team. Built very much like a San Antonio Spurs or a Golden State Warriors. This is a space where you have to be a Toronto Raptor type player, almost like the Miami Heat. There is a culture here that Dwayne Casey built. Guys that are going to be team first. They're going to play hard defense. They're going to show up night in and night out. And Nick Nurse brings in the perfect offense to make the most of this team. But on the other end, Toronto is the perfect match for Domantas Sabonis. He's not going to have to carry the load. He's got another all-star in Pascal Siakam, future all-star in Scotty Barnes, and potential future all-star in Fred VanVleet if they can get into a top 4 seed by the time the playoffs roll around or the all-star game rolls around. You've got a team here where you've got 4 guys on the court next to Sabonis who can all drop 20-plus points in a game, who can be the dominant player in a game, who could potentially close out a game. Fred right now is the best closer, but Pascal has the ability as well. So does Gary Trent Jr. And I think Scotty Barnes is going to get there soon enough. Now, the best part about it is that the way this team is set up defensively, they're able to hide all the flaws of Domantas Sabonis. His lack of lateral quickness, his ability to disrupt around the rim and in passing lanes. He doesn't have to worry about that. That's what you got Scotty Barnes for. That's what you got Gary Trent Jr. for. That's what you got Pascal Siakam for. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, there's one person that this guy's not mentioning, OG Anunoby. And I'm going to be real with y'all. That's who he's going to get traded for. OG is 24 years old. Domantas Sabonis, 25 years old. What do the Indiana Pacers need more than anything right now? A wing defender, an elite wing defender to improve this defense. They make roughly about $2 million in between salary ranges. So it fits extremely well. And it allows them to maintain some sort of continuity without having to blow up a team, right? The Raptors don't need to give up a whole lot. They don't need to give up a whole lot. They can maybe throw in a second-round pick as well. But let's not be fooled. Domantas Sabonis was not dragging the Pacers into the playoffs. He's not that level of a player. And yet in the playoffs, he can be counted on. He has great value. And so does OG Anunoby, first-team all-defense level defender, who's growing his offensive game, who can shoot the 3 ball, defend 3 to 4 positions at least, right? This could be a straight up swap. And they fill a position of need on both sides. Because the reality is both teams are a little stacked at each of their positions. The Toronto Raptors got way too many forward wings. Delano Banton is showing, he's the goods. He's the goods. Another great find, Toronto native, 6'10" guard. He's going to remind you of Lamar Odom from back in the day. Delano Banton has a great future. And I believe they got him in the second round or the end of the first round, one of the two. But he's way cheaper. Great upside. And he's coming off the bench. Behind who? So far, the lead for Rookie of the Year, Scotty Barnes. 6'9", point forward, can guard 5 positions as a rookie. As a rookie. Number 4 pick, future all-star. There's absolutely no reason to try to hang on to OG Anunoby right now. I don't think OG is ever going to become a number 1 scorer. I don't think he's ever going to fill that Kawhi Leonard type role, which is what they're actually needing. They're needing a go-to scorer, somebody that they can give the ball to and say, get us a bucket. Now, the reality is Domantas Sabonis isn't necessarily that level. He's not Joel Embiid level. But he's only about a hair beneath, let's say, somebody like the MVP last year, the Joker. I'm not saying he's at that level of MVP, but I am saying, he can give you 25, 12 to 15 rebounds, 4 to 5 assists in a game. He can have those games with regularity, just scoring within the system. He's that smart and that skilled. And so when I'm looking at Indiana talking about he's available, this has got to be on Toronto's radar right now, because the reality is Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, these guys are in their prime. Gary Trent Jr., he's young, but he's still headed into his prime. These guys are ready to win right now. This is not a rebuilding team. It's not a Houston Rockets team. A couple other guys that I was thinking about that the Toronto Raptors could take a look at was Mo Bamba and Wendell Carter Jr. in Orlando. Both of them are good centers, very skilled, have a bright future, I think. But neither of them are proven on the level of Domantas Sabonis. Neither of them are worth OG Anunoby, nor are either of them worth trying to sign in the offseason and going way over the salary cap for, which they're going to have to do. They're going to each of them are going to demand anywhere between 12 to 18 million easily, depending upon how they finish out the season. I also looked at Jonas Valanciunas, who's already a Toronto Raptor, right? Familiar with the system, the team, the organization, great player to bring back. But do the New Orleans Pelicans want OG Anunoby? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. I actually think they're really happy with Jonas Valanciunas right now. And they're really happy with him. And it fits that team, fits what they're needing. So I don't see Toronto necessarily going after him. But it's to say right now, if the Raptors get Sabonis, the way they're playing, I'm penciling them in as a number 4, as a top 4 seed in the East right now. If they get Sabonis, if they get him within the next month, by the end of the month, they're going to be a number 4 seed. Remember, there are only a few games. There's only a few game difference between like number 3, number 4, and number 10 seed in the East right now. If the Toronto Raptors can get Domantas Sabonis, they're going to make that jump. Flat out. No questions asked. And Indiana doing this fire sale right now, if I'm Toronto, I'm jumping all over it. I'm sure they would love to pair OG Anunoby and Karis LeVert on the wings. That defense takes a huge jump. They get TJ Warren back, pencil him in at the 4 next to Miles Turner. They can try to turn it around quick. But right now, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think of the videos. The last 2 I'm doing in office. Lighting is a little bit better. Got a little bit more energy because it's not the end of the day. But let me know what you think. If you like, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'm out. Peace.